This is a response from a monk to questions posed by lay people that they find interesting. Many friends ask me, after becoming a monk, how I deal with sexual desires. This is indeed a question of great interest to many. Shaving one's head, shedding alluring attire, willingly adhering to seemingly austere precepts, consuming vegetarian food without attachment, reciting incomprehensible mantras, and sitting in meditation for extended periods. How do people like this live? What are they living for? Do they have desires? How do they deal with them? Among these inquiries, the most inevitable is about sexual desires. People in the world don't understand that shaving one's head is akin to washing away dirt with water, eradicating desires. Let me tell you, it doesn't. Shaving one's head doesn't eliminate habitual desires. However, someone who genuinely approaches life with rationality, prudence, and responsibility chooses monastic life. They must clearly understand the benefits of monasticism. Buddhist teachings are not merely lofty figures and ancient statues in the eyes of most people, nor are they blind worshippers seeking fame, profit, or marriage. If you haven't delved deeply into it, you'll never comprehend its profundity. Without studying, without practice, you'll perpetually remain a superstitious and pitiful person, akin to guarding a priceless treasure without understanding its value. When I initially began studying Buddhist teachings, many past troubles and pains dissipated as if waking from a dream, leaving me dumbfounded. Do you understand? Let me tell you, becoming a monk was the wisest choice of my life, a joyful choice, an immensely positive commitment. I never withdrew from your lives. I never chose to escape. I never refused any incoming problems. On the contrary, I strive to address and manage problems better and more effectively with the wisdom developed through Buddhist guidance. Although I'm just a novice compared to many great achievers, I'm still like an infant in Buddhism. Yet, as this infant of Buddhism, I've already felt the radiance brought by Buddhist teachings. This radiance doesn't emanate from any Buddha or Bodhisattva, it emanates from within me, a glimmer of innate wisdom gradually emerging after a slight awakening. Honestly, I still have sensual desires. When I see an attractive person, I still look. And if I encounter someone with whom I have a karmic connection, due to the trend of karma, I may still uncontrollably develop affection. But unlike before, how do I handle it? The law of karma is an unquestionable universal law. Today's encounters and affections have profound karmic roots. It's not necessarily the romantic vows made in movies that lead to today's reunions. You might have been enemies in the past, seeking revenge in this life. Perhaps you were debtors, repaying debts today. Maybe you were ancestors and descendants meeting again due to mutual attachment. Perhaps you were once parent and child, continuing an unfinished bond in this life. Or maybe just passers-by brushing past each other, sparked by the other's beauty, leading to a karmic consequence today. Or any other conceivable and inconceivable possibility. Western countries call this the butterfly effect. In this life, you may encounter someone and arouse desire, such is the mystery of karmic affinity. When affinity arises, you're almost uncontrollably drawn to each other, defying logical understanding. Buddha meticulously taught us this law thousands of years ago in various ways. When you understand, and then observe, you realize, so it is. Similarly, when the time comes for karma to exhaust, no matter how desperately you try to hold on, it's futile. What must depart will depart, everything will vanish into emptiness. Naively gazing into emptiness, reminiscing about the past, tormented by unfulfilled desires, complaining, and lamenting. What if I encounter such karma? Let me tell you. Because we're still ordinary beings, because we still harbor long-standing habits, because of karma, because of the laws of the universe, when I encounter someone with affinity, my heart indeed uncontrollably entertains thoughts. I've tried to suppress these thoughts, but the more I resist, the stronger they become. Funny, isn't it? Action and reaction, also universal laws. Alright, so, If I meet someone with affinity, we may experience passion turning into familial love, eventually having children. I, once a woman focused on personal appearance and gratification, become a haggard caretaker, neglecting myself for my family. Though I still frequent beauty salons, the marks of time etch deeper into my face. It's absolutely hopeless, no way to stop it. I worry about my children's diet and education daily, occasionally sensitive to my husband's attitude towards aging. As the children grow older, if lucky, they excel and start their own happy families. By then, my hair is gray. If even luckier, my husband remains my husband, not straying to another. Both of us with gray hair, faces wrinkled, the children who once surrounded us are now occasional visitors, like distant relatives. If lucky, the children are filial, caring for their aging parents' health. If unlucky, dealing with those who exploit their parents, eagerly awaiting their demise for inheritance. In the end, besides eating and drinking, all I do is expend the remaining energy for a stroll. Meeting lively young people on the way makes me realize what it means to age but not die. If unfortunate, even in old age, worrying about livelihood, nothing but memories filling the void. And these memories are deeply tinged with sadness. Memories belong to youth, aging is an unalterable despair. One of us will surely die first, leaving the other to spend the rest of their days alone. There might be a second chance at love, but still, one will die first. Even if you intend to continue, there will come a day when you can't. Death, aside from accidents, typically arrives in two ways, dying from illness or dying naturally. If from illness, it's agonizing, being consumed by disease and fear and helplessness. If natural, like my grandfather, fortunate to sit and play with grandchildren, devoid of any illness, then pass away peacefully, almost as if falling asleep, unnoticed by those around. Death is death, regardless of the method, the result in this world is the same. Before dying, reminiscing about one's life, asking oneself what they've gained, what truly belonged to them. In this hopeless moment, unable to even articulate a word, vaguely seeing loved ones weeping, descendants fearing and avoiding, no more former intimacy. A feeling of indescribable feebleness, the body devoid of strength for any movement, various bodily fluids uncontrollably seeping out, then feeling extreme dryness. At this point, vision and consciousness start to blur, unable to discern loved ones. Breathing becomes increasingly difficult, various illusions begin, past deeds flashing like a movie. Eventually fainting in fear or joy. Upon waking up, feeling detached, witnessing one's body, once so dearly held, now referred to as a corpse. Loved ones' tears have long disappeared, preparations for the funeral are underway. Strangely, one can understand what others are thinking. It's clear that children, seemingly grieving on the surface, are actually calculating how to get more inheritance. Grandchildren play joyfully as usual. A month after the funeral, people once close seem to have forgotten one's existence, continuing with their lives. Thus, one disappears from this world, as if never existed, filled with loss, loneliness, and confusion in this so-called intermediate state. Normally enduring for up to 49 days, then finding the next place for rebirth. Some see their parents mating, then develop greed for their mother, reborn as males or masculine beings. If the father induces greed, they are reborn as females or feminine beings. Some, due to their thoughts, are reborn into the realm of hungry ghosts. How absurd, but we've all experienced it, we just don't remember. Hungry ghosts endure insatiable hunger due to greed in their past lives, perpetually famished. If curious, try fasting for a couple of days and see if you can endure it. Yet, the hunger of hungry ghosts is far worse than a human fasting for days. Some are reborn into hellish realms due to hatred and extreme misdeeds in past lives. Whether you believe it or not, try it out. Do all the evil deeds you can, and ultimately, you'll suffer. It's not others, it's solely your affair. The suffering in hell is unimaginable. If interested, Buddhist texts describe some of it. Let me tell you, everyone fears it, even if you're obstinate. It's simply ignorance. Experimental methods same as above. Poke yourself with a needle, then burn yourself, strip naked in the snow, see if you can endure it. If not, hell's suffering is far beyond this. Now, looking at my monk's robe, I feel immense contentment. Finally, in this life, I've decided to transcend. I no longer indulge in the future. I need to face the challenges of accumulated past habits. But I'm willing to face them bravely like the sages of old, actively transcending. Monastic life is easy, peaceful, and serene because it's no longer bound by worldly values. I've gained a freedom I've never experienced before, doing what I want to do, learning to help sentient beings. Though my strength is limited, my joy is boundless. Deeply repenting past wrongs from the heart and vowing never to repeat them, although habits may cause occasional lapses, I must increasingly swiftly recognize them and continue repenting. Errors will diminish until they're eradicated forever. As long as I persist, every night before sleep, lying in bed, I feel at peace. Even if death comes now, I have no regrets or remorse, no dark thoughts, no fear of memories to face, only love for sentient beings and the wondrous light. Do you want to know what such a mindset feels like in this world? If not strong enough, at least you'll feel gratitude. In the next life, born into a happy, prosperous, and harmonious family, with good looks and gentle temperament, gaining people's favor. With a bit more strength, one continues as a monk in the next life, continuing this life's practice and eventually achieving enlightenment. With the utmost strength, one awakens to the truth of the universe in this life, completely awakening from the cycle of rebirths. Some friends may not want to wake up, thinking the present is fine. But one day, you'll understand, and then remember, Buddhism can help you. Well, this video ends here. Thank you for watching. We accompany you to listen to the Buddha's teachings, calming agitation and settling body and mind. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe or share it with your friends in the bottom right corner. Your support is my greatest motivation. See you next time.